Hello dear students, I am Jay Prakash, retired lecturer from TS Residential School Society, Hyderabad, Telangana. Welcome to JP Commerce. In this class, we are going to learn various journal entries in the books of the consignor and the consignee. The ledger accounts in the books of the consignor and consignee. Journal entries in the books of the consignor. In consignment account, we record the transaction related to the consignment accounts. Consignee and goods sent on consignment account are prepared by the consignor. The following are journal entries in the books of the consignor. The consignor prepares three ledger accounts in his books. The first one is consignment account. Consignment account is a nominal account because the consignor is having a number of consignment accounts in different places to know profit and loss on each consignment. So first account is prepared by the consignor is a consignment account. Second, consignee account. Consignee, how much amount to due from consignee, what is his sales, how is the business, and to know various such things, consignor prepares consignee account in his books of account. The third one is goods sent on consignment account. This is a real account, how much amount of the quantity of the goods sent by the consignor to the consignee mentioned, the balance is transferred to the trading account or purchases account. Now first journal entry in the books of the consignor, when the goods are sent on consignment to the consignee, so consignor debit the consignment account to goods sent on consignment account. This is a account we have given credit. Goods means comes under real account as the goods are going out, so the consignor and give credit to the goods sent on consignment account. So we have to debit the consignment account because actually here the consignor has to give debit to the consignee, but consignee is not responsible for that. Instead of that, so we are given a consignment account debit. Now second one, when the expenses are incurred by the consignor. When expenses are incurred by the consignor debit the consignment account and to credit the bank account. Now here bank account is credited because bank comes under real account. As cash is going out, the consignor gives credit to the bank account and he has given a consignment account. Consignment is nothing but similar to that of the profit and loss account, as already prepared in first year final accounts, trading and profit and loss account. Please you remember the preparation of the final account. So the same applies the rules to prepare the consignment account in next. When advance received from the consignee as a security deposit, so bank or bills receivables account data to consignee. As we received cash as a advance from the consignee, the consignor gives debit to bank account, or if he receives bills receivable, and or if he receives cash and he gives debit to the cash account. Who is giving here? Consignee is giving, so a consignor gives credit to consignee account. So consignee is a giver. Now fourth one, when the consignor discounted the bill with the bank, so as the bill is going out, so you have given a credit to the bills receivable account, bank account data or discount account data or the bills receivables account. So the banker has to wait till the due date to get the amount from the consignee. For that the banker deducted such amount as in a discount. So will say when the bill is discounted with the bank account data, discount account data or two bills receivable account. When expenses are incurred by the consignee. So now consignment account data to consignee account. Here the consignor gives credit to the consignee account to the extent of amount spent on consignment. The consignor treated consignee as a creditor. So consignment account data to consignee account. When the commission payable to consignee, same both general entries, commission and the expenses. We have to write same general entries, consignment account data to consignee account, consignment account data to consignee account. In preparation, we will see. And when goods are sold by the consignee, then the consignor gives debit to the consignee account. Then it became a data or consignee account data to consignment account. When consignee return sum of goods back to the consignor, so first entry you have to first, what is our first entry? We say the consignment account to goods sent on consignment account. Now on receipt of the goods from back from the consignee, the consignor passes the reverse entry goods sent on consignment account data to consignment account. When bad debts are to be borne by the consignment account is given debit and he gives credit to the consignee account. When unsold stock remain with the consignee, consignment stock account data to consignment account. Now to differentiate between the consignment account and the unsold stock, so here the stock word stock is added and to the consignment stock means, as you know, the word is similar to that of unsold stock, nothing is similar to that of closing stock, as we see in the final accounts first years. So consignment account is given credit, consignment stock account data to consignment account. If the consignment results profit, consignment account data to profit and loss account. Generally it is consignment account is similar to the trade final account, trading and profits and loss account. Final account, you see, trading and profit and loss account. Now profit and loss account generally is given credit when it results in profit. When it results in loss, you have to reverse that entry, profit or loss account data to consignment. In consignment you write by loss. In trading and profit or loss account you write by net loss and by gross loss. When the amount received from the consignee in final settlement, bank account data, or if he receives any check or draft from bank account data or bills receivables account data to consignee account, because the consignee is giving, so comes under personal account, he give credit to the consignee account. For closing the goods on consignment account, finally goods sent on consignment account data to trading account or purchase account. Finally at the end of the year, financial year, we to close the goods sent on consignment account, whatever that amount is available to particular consignment account, we are transferring to say a trading account or a purchases account. Ledger accounts in the books of the consignor. The consignor is very much interested in knowing of the profit or loss in respect of each consignment and the amount due by or due to each consignee separately. The consignor prepares each consignment account separately. So this consignment account is results shows the net profit or net loss. So the consignor is very much eager to know what is the profit on a particular consignment, whether you have to continue that is his business in the space, or again you have to change to take such type of an decision. Consignor first and foremost duty is to prepare the consignment account. So first one is consignment account. He prepares, this is a nominal account. You remember, nominal account debit all expenses, losses, and credit all incomes and gains. Now consignee account, the consignee is a personal account here. Personal debit is reserved, credit is the giver. You apply this principle here. Personal account, consignee account. Goods sent on consignment account is in a real account. So in the books of the consignor, we have the three types of the ledger accounts. One is a nominal account, personal account, and real account. Now consignment account. How to prepare consignment account? So it is prepared to know the net profit or loss. Each consignment account is named after the place. If the consignment account is related to particular place, Adilabad, you write Adilabad consignment account. So if it is Karimnagar consignment account. If it is in Sirsila consignment, you write. So because the consignor is having number of accounts in different places, to identify very easily, consignor adds the location or name of the village or town to that particular consignment account, so that it becomes an Adilabad consignment account. It is a nominal account in nature, similar to that of profit and loss account. Debit side, we show this account is debited with the cost of the goods sent on consignment. As you know, trading and profit and loss account, you write to opening stock. Similarly, goods sent on consignment account. Remember your final accounts, how to prepare the final account here. To opening stock here, nothing but cost of the goods sent on consignment, and expenses incurred by the consignor and expenses incurred by the consignee commission. As you have the different type of expenses in profit or loss account, similarly here So we have the number of expenses. Now the credit side, the account is created with the sales proceeds by consignee. Sales means in trading and profit or loss account, you write by sales less sales returns by closing stock. Similarly, sales proceeds by the consignee. How much that is the amount of the goods sold by the consignee, that amount created in consignment account. Now unsold stock, there is nothing but closing stock, CS closing stock we have to show. Side generally credit side is higher. If you put the same amount in the debit side, the difference is treated as a profit, but the profit transfer to the profit and loss account. If it is loss, again transfer to the profit and loss account. Now we will see the consignment account pro forma. Consignment account, this is a consignment account pro forma. As we have discussed a consignment account, here the medical consignment account, you write medical consignment account within the brackets I give. Now debit side, this consignment shows debit to goods sent on consignment is nothing but as well as opening stock. Similarly, you will compare with the open stock in trading and profit and loss account. So bank expenses, this is all the expenses incurred by the consignor. Again, consignor also spend some expenses on consignment, his expenses also. And consignee commission payable to the consignee. To consignee, and if the account, if the daily credit commission is not allowed. Now credit side, as we are seeing, by consignee account, you write sales made by the consignee. By goods sent on consignment, if the goods are returned by the consignor, if at all unsold stock with the consignee, and to that extent, and the consignment account is to be given credit. So by consignment stock, you write consignment stock is nothing but a closing stock. This is a within brackets I give unsold stock. So by profit and loss, in case of loss, and you write in the credit side of the consignment account. In case of profit, you write in the debit side of the from consignment account. Now the second most important account prepared by consignor is the consignee account. Consignor prepares the consignee account to find out due from him, how much amount to be received from the consignee. To know, the consignor prepares a consignee account. It is a personal account in nature, and this account is debited with the goods sold by him, sales proceeds. How much amount of the amount of rupees of goods sold by the consignee, that has to be and given a debit. Now this account is created with advance paid by the consignee, expenses paid by the consignee, commission, and etc. Now consignee account pro forma. In the debit side, we see only one item, that is consignment account sales. In the consignee, credit items by cash or bank or bills receivables account, and amount paid to the consignor as in advance. Second one is consignment account, expenses of the consignee. The consignment account is a commission of the consignment. By consignment. Here by consignment, bad debts in case of daily credit commission. By bank or cash, bills receivable, balance carried down, or if at all the account is not settled and that account shows difference amount, how much amount to due from the consignee. We came to know with the help of the consignee account how much amount due from a particular consignee. Now goods sent on consignment, as I already discussed, this account is a real account in nature. This account is created with value of the goods sent on consignment. The first, first a consignment account data to goods sent on consignment. Now in the goods sent on consignment, you write by consignment. The account is created with the value of the goods sent on consignment. This account is debited with value of the goods returned by the consignee. This is a real account nature. The account is debited with the value of the goods. If at all any goods returned in the goods sent on consignment account, you give debit. In case of trading account, balance is transferred to the trading account. If it is in a manufacturing organization, the balance in the goods sent on consignment account is to be transferred to purchases account. As you write to closing this goods sent on consignment account, you write trading account or profit and loss account in the debit side to trading account oblique purchases account. Now debit side and credit side of this is the goods sent on consignment to consignment account. goods return to purchases or trading account, and by consignment account goods sent on consignment account. This is the pro forma of the goods sent on consignment. Ledger accounts in the books of the consignee. Consignee is only related to the consignor. So consignee prepares only one account in his books of account. That account is known as consignor account. His consignor account is only a personal account. Now the consignee in his books prepares only one account, that is a consignor account, to know the net amount to be paid to consignor. How much amount you have to pay to the consignor, to know that the consignee prepares only the consignor account particularly. It is a personal account in nature. Now the consignor account is debited with all expenses incurred by the consignee, commission, advance paid by him to the consignor. In this consignor account, so the consignee mentioned in the debit side his expenses on consignment and also his commission and how much amount already paid in advance. These three things are to be debited in the consignor account. Now consignor account is created with cash and credit sales made by him. How much amount of the goods sold, cash sales or it is in a credit sales. So the balance of account, net amount, with this we came to know how much amount due to consignor. So the consignee knows, based on that the consignee settled his account, consignor account. Now ledger accounts in the books of consignee, pro forma, that is a consignor account. Now the consignor account here same similarly whatever we learned, to cash or bank expenses incurred by the consignee, to cash or bank bills received advance paid by the consignee, to commission payable to consignee, to bank or bank bills receivable account or final settlement or balance carried down in case final settlement is not made. In the credit side we have the only two items, that is by bank cash sales, by debtor if at all it is in a credit sales. Generally this consignor account shows always credit side in general, and the difference amount so that consignee knows how much amount to be payable to the consignor. General entries in the books of the consignee. The consignee passes the following general entries in his own books of account. Consignee prepares, here consignee prepares only one account, that is consignor account. When the goods received by the consignee from the consignor, no journal entry is required, no need to pass any journal entry on the first. As we have first entry in the books of the consignor, first journal entry is consignment account data to goods sent on consignment. So in related to that transaction, no journal entries need to be passed in the books of the consignee. Now when some advance is paid by the consignee to the consignor as a security deposit, so we have given consignor. Consignor is a personal account, debit is the receiver. As receiving the cash, we give debit to the consignor account. As cash comes on real account or any bill or any bank, that amount is to be given credit as it is a real account. So as it going out, we give credit to the cash account or bank account whenever the amount paid in advance by the consignee to the consignor. When expenses incurred by the consignee on consignment, consignor account debtor to bank account. So in general, when we notice in the books of consignee, consignee is always related to only consignor. Always generally the consignor account is to be given debit, or in some cases it is given credit. In general, so first case also consignor account, when the amount is paid in advance, consignor account is debited. When expenses incurred by the consignee, consignor account is debited. And both the cases, a cash account or bank bills receivable, and here also bank account, both the cases, and we are given credit to the cash or bank account or bills receivable account. Now when consignee returns some goods back to the consignor, no journal entry is required because the consignee is not at all related to, not responsible for the goods sent by the consignor. When sales made by the consignee, then only the consignee gives, as he receives cash, so bank account he has given in his books of account bank account debit and to consignor account credit. Who gave this money? The goods belongs to the consignor, so that's why the consignee gives credit to consignor account because the amount is goods are not belongs to the consignee. So bank account data to consignor account, because whenever the sales are made by the consignee, whenever the goods are sold by consignee, then he is receiving cash, bank account is given debit and the consignor account is given credit. When the credit sales are made by the consignee, as we are not receiving cash, we are not given a debit to, as earlier case above we are given debit to the bank or cash account. Here no, as we are not received cash, so instead of cash, who is the responsible here? To whom we sold goods on credit, that person is responsible. We calling him as a debtor. So debtor account debtor to consignor account when the goods are sold on credit basis. Now when this consign is eligible for commission, consignor account debtor to commission account, being commission due from the consignor sales. Because the consignee works on commission basis, so to the extent of the goods sold by him, he is eligible for commission. To that extent, he passes journal into his books of accounts, that is consignor account data, commission account. Consignor personal and he is a responsible person. We have given debit to the consignor. So commission, we have given a credit. It comes a nominal account. And in nominal account, credit all incomes and gains. Is a commission is a gain to the consignee. So consignee gave a credit to the commission account. Who is the giver here? And here consignor is giving commission. Now when bad debts occur, if daily credit and commission is not paid, consignor account debtor to debtor's account. So consignor is only the responsible in case when the daily credit commission is not accepted by the consignor. As we have already discussed about the daily credit commission, and this daily credit commission most important in examination point of view, and this is a commission, and so when the consignee takes responsible for the bad debts, then the consignor allows some extra commission. That commission is known as the daily creditary commission. To avoid the bad debts risk, the consignor giving some extra commission to the consignee, because consignee knows very well about the customers and their creditability. When we give some extra commission on credit sales, the consignee is taking utmost care and to avoid the bad debts risk. So for final amount remitted to the consignor, for final amount also, because as consignor is the receiving personal account, debit is the received on final account, because closing of the books of account, as cash is going out and we are given and credit to the cash account or bank account or bills payable account. For unsold stock with the consignee is not responsible for that. There is no need to talk fast general entry. When we notice our general entries in the books of the consignee, we saw, so most of the cases the consignor account is given debit and or credit. So he is related to only consignor only. He prepares only one account in his books of accounts, that is consignor account. Thank you for watching my classes JP Commerce. Please like, share and subscribe for more and more videos.